Debt, fear, relationships, the children, your health, work. When you want to give up and you need courage to continue, take heart and stay tuned as RJ Jackson writes her signature message of hope on your heart. You don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living. Like every show of Conversations on Courage, you'll be informed, inspired, and encouraged to find the courage you need to succeed at home, work, and in your business. Get your pen and paper. You'll want to take notes. And now, your host, RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver.
Hey now, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to the table. You talk about authentic, down-to-earth conversation. Well, we had one last week, as in every week. And let me just remind you, today is no exception. We got lots for you to talk about today. We have opportunities, encouragement, and inspiration that will cause transformation in your situation. Yes, we have lots more in store just for you. And today, allow me to introduce the Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team. Transformational coach Angela Denise is a woman on a mission. She's called by God to help strengthen your relationship. Through her own trials and tribulations of relationship, she's learned to develop a positive and healthy relationship with others. She is a certified life coach, speaker, and author on a journey to transform lives by teaching the mind, body, and soul to love thyself and avoid the pitfalls of an unhealthy relationship. Mindset maven Athena Blue is a mother of 5, health coach, emotional wellness specialist, and an RN with over 40 years of experience in healthcare. She's an advocate for helping women create healthy food relationships and teaching the importance of maintaining a good work-life balance. She's an author, speaker, and coach, focusing on helping women overcome their fears, move past their negative experiences, and live life on purpose. Tamika Haynes is a certified holistic practitioner and life coach that promotes and teaches others how to achieve optimal health and well-being. Her primary focus and assignment is to help others heal, renew their spirit, establish their faith, and increase their virtue. Tamika is a mother of 1 and an Air Force veteran. Now, if you're ready, join me in welcoming Angela Denise, Athena Blue, and Tamika Haynes.
Welcome. This is Angela.
And this is Athena Blue, your mindset maven. And this is Tamika Haynes, your transformation and holistic wellness coach.
Let's go ahead and get started. We're looking forward to hearing from you the words of inspiration that's going to cause transformation in our situation. Because life sometimes can be tough. The struggle is real. And the choices we have to make, sometimes, they are tough. So let's see how you handle those tough situations. I have a question I'd love for each of you to dive into. I want to start with Tamika. So, Miss Tamika, how are you today, beautiful?
I am well. Thank you. How are you?
My pleasure. I am doing fantastic, beautiful. Here's a question I'd love for you to dive in. And it says, if you were going on vacation, you could only take 1 item on vacation. Okay, I'm going to be nice. How about 2? You can only take 2 items with you on this vacation. Where would you go, and what 2 items would you take?
Ooh. I probably would go to an island. I'm trying to think of which one. I don't know. I probably would go somewhere like Bora Bora or Aruba or anywhere where there's water in the ocean. Very close.
Okay, nice.
And the two items I would take would be my credit card and my passport.
Credit card and passport. Tell me about that.
So with the credit card, of course, I would be able to buy what I needed when I got there. And the passport is a universal form of identification, so I wouldn't need anything else.
Nothing else. The clothes on your back, your credit card, and your passport. Bora Bora, here she comes. Let's ask Angela Denise that exact same question. So, Miss Angela, girl, welcome back to the Worldwide Women Speaker stage. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm doing great.
So let me just ask you, if you were to go on vacation, you can go anywhere you choose. Where would you choose? And what would be the two items, just two, the two items that you would take with you?
I was thinking the same thing. I can take my ID and I can take my my credit card because whatever I need, I can buy it when I get there. And it would definitely be by some water as well.
Buy some water. All right. Any part of the coast in particular you're thinking about?
Not particular, that I'm thinking about. So I'll have to make that decision. But it would definitely have to be on the beach because that's what I love. That's peaceful for me.
So far, we got two people going towards the water with their credit card in hand and their ID so that they can prove they are who they say they are. All right, ladies, I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and welcome Miss Athena Blue to the Worldwide Women's stage, and let's find out where Miss Athena would be traveling to. Miss Athena, how you doing, beautiful?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing well.
And I'm excited about hearing your answer. If you were to take one of those blue retreat vacations, girl, where would you be headed? And what two items would you take with you?
Well, when I go on my blue retreat this December, it will be to Cape Town, South Africa. And I just got to say what the other lady said, I have to have at least a credit debit card, and my passport. Passport, why? As it was said before, universal identification to get from one country to the next. And then my credit card, I'll be able to use that to be able to buy things that I want to buy. Everything else, I can get there. Now, why Cape Town? Cape Town has a beach. Cape Town has the mountains. Cape Town has vineyards. Cape Town has safaris. Cape Town has botanical gardens. Cape Town has about everything you need to come to relax and reconnect with yourself.
It sounds so relaxing and enjoyable.
It is one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen.
And I heard you say December. You're headed there. Is that right?
Absolutely. Our first blue retreat will be from December 1st through December 8th. And we welcome those who want to come along with us. Just look us up at www.blueretreats.com.
Now, is it true they can bring more than two items?
Yes, they can bring more than two items. In fact, it's highly encouraged that they do.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now, I can't help but notice that you all had your credit card in hand and your ID, no doubt, wrapped around your neck because you certainly didn't have a purse to put it in. And no cell phone to call anyone in case of an emergency. So I'm hoping that wherever you're going, you'll be able to purchase that cell phone, as you said, with your credit card. Hey, ladies, thanks so much for traveling along with me in this journey and answering that question. If you were to go on vacation, where would you go, and what 2 items would you take? It shows us that life is about choices, and sometimes the choices we have to make can be pretty tough. And there are times that we seemingly feel like we're in the middle of the most impossible task, and we have to make a decision. And most of those times, we feel that we're all alone. But I know that's not true, because there are always people who can walk with us, journey with us, help us find solutions for what we need in order to succeed. And today it gives me great pleasure to talk more to Miss Tamika Haynes, Miss Angela Denise, and Miss Athena Blue on how they can help you wherever you are in your journey, live life on purpose, and be all that you were created to be, even in the midst of having to make tough choices. So let's talk to Miss Tamika Haynes. Tamika, life is about choices. We do have a hard time making those choices. Tell us, what's your specialty?
Well, as a holistic transformation coach, my specialty is helping people from a holistic perspective. So I not only help them deal with chronic health conditions, I also help them to address other issues that may be causing those elements to manifest, such as emotional issues, soul issues, which deals with the mind and the emotions. And I also help them on a spiritual level as well.
And who do you actually serve? Who's your client? What do they look like?
So my clients usually look like women who are tired of the cycles that have been going on in their lives. They're just at almost a breaking point, and they are tired of the physical things, physical health issues that they've been dealing with, whether it be being overweight, whether it be having high blood pressure. They're tired of being in a space of feeling hopeless. They're usually in a place where they want to address what is going on in their life from a holistic perspective, and they just feel stuck on a roller coaster ride in their life.
So what is the number one problem that your clients face?
The number one problem that they face is not being able to stop the cycles that are going on in their lives, and not being able to pinpoint what step they need to take next to end those cycles and break those cycles of what's been going on in their lives, some of them for years.
And as a holistic coach, how do you help solve that problem?
The first thing we do is we assess exactly where they are on every level, whether it be spiritually, physically, emotionally, from a soul level, where their mind is, what their mindset is like. And we then try to discover, and usually we find out that there's a root cause to the issues that are going on. Most things have a root cause. It might be one root cause, it might be many. So we get to the root of what's going on with them, and that can be their diet, which that is usually included. That can be stuff that happened in their childhood, some type of trauma, relationship issues, maybe a recent breakup is, causing some emotional trauma that they haven't addressed. So we get down to the root of the problem and help them to move on from there.
Do you have a time where you walked with or you journeyed with one of your clients that you can share a story with us about?
Yes. I had a client where she had been on a cycle of dealing with all types of physical ailments. I mean, there was high blood pressure, and she was fairly young. Let me add that, early 30s. High blood pressure, couldn't get the weight off. She said that she was sad at the time. She was sad, felt a little bit isolated and lonely, and said that she just didn't connect with, anyone around her anymore, even like her family members. She said she just felt like she needed to change something. So she was starting to isolate herself because she didn't know exactly what was going on and why she was so unhappy. So we got to the root of where she was in her life. She was definitely at a point in her life where she was in between transforming from who she was and where she was to who she was going to, grow into be, and also in discovering her purpose and figuring that out. That was part of it as well. She was in a transitional phase, as we call it sometimes, and we really, got to the root of what was going on, why she was so unhappy, and also address what was going on physically with her as far as her health and what she was eating, what she should be eating, what she shouldn't be eating. She was dealing with stuff like some minor stuff too, like athlete's foot and fungus and yeast and things like that. So we were able to address all of those issues and get to the root of the problems that she was having. There were a lot of family issues that we also had to address that affected her emotions. So we were able to get her emotions in order, and everything else started to fall in place. She was able to focus on her self-care, focus on her diet, and begin putting the pieces of the puzzle back together.
And there's nothing like putting the pieces of the puzzle together so that we can be complete and whole, because that's what God wants us to be. What's next for you?
Well, what's next for me is I'm going to continue speaking and coaching and, helping people to transform their lives to be better from the inside out. I call it the inside out method, just transforming from the inside out so that it manifests on in their outside environment and in their lives. I also have a new product line coming out, a holistic product line coming out that I've been working on in a subscription box. So very exciting time.
We can't wait to hear more about it. In the meantime, how can we stay connected with you so that we can follow your journey as well as reach out when we need the help and feeling as if we're stuck so that we can get unstuck?
Yes, I can be found on all social platforms through Wisdom Holistics. My website is wisdomholistics.com. I also have the other side of my coaching business, which is Souls of Virtue. You can find everything you need to know about that on soulsofvirtue.com.
We certainly look forward to staying connected with you. We've enjoyed journeying with you and having you journey with us. Thanks for being such an inspirational leader for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this journey.
Let's go to Miss Angela. What's up, Miss Angela?
Hello.
Thank you for gracing us with your awesomeness. How do you help people make and get through the tough choices in life that they have to make? What is your specialty?
Well, first, I just want to thank you for having me on. And as a law of attraction coach and also a social media strategist, my goal is to help women take their vision into execution. A lot of times we can vision about what we want to do, or we may not have time to do what we envision. I help them to take that vision to execution.
In other words, you help them make it happen. Is that what I hear you saying?
Absolutely.
Who do you serve?
Majority of my clients are women that I assist and help them with, managing and everything, their social media, and then also, just allowing those visions to come true.
What's the number one problem that you say your clients face when it comes to vision, social media, and the areas of expertise in which you help them?
The number one problem that they face is they know they need to have a social media presence, but they do not have the time to constantly be on social media or creating the content or creating the graphics. So what I do, I come in as a social media strategist and manager and help them to create that content, the graphics, and then also, schedule their posts as well, too. So they can spend more time helping their clients and also, marketing for clients. And that's where their time needs to be versus spending all that time online. And then because I think really with your time, it's a lot of value to that. And you want to make sure that you're managing that time wisely and not losing it on something else where you could be spending that time with your client.
And I could hear so many women just saying, yes, 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 so true. I need you, because the one problem that I'm facing, as you said, is not knowing what content to actually post. So how do you help people, women in particularly, understand what their content should be, look like, or feel like?
And what I do is basically understand my client and understand their business as well, too, and really grab their voice and create a strategy of not just posting, quotes or anything like that, but it's a strategy just build on it, whether we're posting statistics, whether we're posting quotes, whether we're, introducing the client, whether we're, really grabbing your ideal client and not posting to everyone versus who you're really targeting. So it's definitely a strategy to it. And what I do is help them to really understand that, and then I really understand their business so we can create that strategy.
Now, I know you were able to successfully say what 2 items you were going to take if you went on vacation, and you told us you would be going towards the water. Share one of your success stories with your clients that you may have had as well.
Absolutely. So one of my success stories, I had one lady, which this is, just in conversation, just starting a conversation, as you're connecting with people. And she was just telling me, that her full-time job was not really, paying what she really needed to live. She had a business, but it was not operating and functioning how she wanted to be and how she envisioned it to be. So basically, I asked her, I said, well, do you have a, social media page or Facebook, business page? And she said, yes, I do have one. It's there, but I do not use it. And a lot of times that's what I get. And I said, well, allow me to manage your social media page for you. So I took on that. And basically, it's been for a few months now, and I've been managing her page, which is, one of my clients now. And I really helped her to grow her business, and it excites me because when I talk to her and I follow up with her, or she'll text me and say she's a photographer, so she said I had 5 sessions this past weekend. So she went from having 0 or maybe having 1 to now every weekend being booked up because of that visibility, because of that consistency, because of really on social media, you have to show up every day. If you don't show up every day, then people will easily forget. But if you're showing up every day and they're seeing you every day on social media, then they're able to reach out to you and say, hey, I remember this person does photography, or I remember this person is a life coach, or I remember this person, does business coaching. They will remember because once they need those services, they will remember you because you're showing up every single day. So now I can say that she's a testimony that now every weekend she's booked. Every week she's booked. And she's, so happy and so excited and, just so glad, and just makes me feel so good, that I'm able to take her vision and now put that into execution where she's now getting paid.
Because that's what business is all about, getting paid. So how can we reach out and connect with you so that you can help, if we're listening, expand our vision as well?
Absolutely. So you can reach me on any social media platform at Angela Cormier. Last name is Cormier. Or you can reach me as VB Solutions 2015 on social media as well, too. So you can just send me a message and we can get you started.
Hey, Angela, thanks so much for helping us see clearly and having the exposure that's so important in expanding our business.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You're listening to Conversations on Courage with your host, RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver. Quick, call your friends and invite them to listen in.
Let's go to, is it Cape Town or Funky Town? Miss Athena Blue?
It's Cape Town.
It's Cape
Which
Town.
Is a funky town.
Won't you take me to Funky Town? All right, so Blue Retreat is going to Cape Town, credit card and passport in hand. So it's clear that life offers many choices. Sometimes those choices are easy, sometimes they're very challenging, and most of the time we need to get away from the choices that we've made because we're like, Calgon, take me away. Well, we're not going to rely on Calgon. We're going to rely on Athena Blue to help us out. So, Miss Athena, how is it that you help people make choices, deal with the choices they've made, and just make the most out of their life? What is your specialty?
Well, as a health and life coach, my focus is on mindset modification. I specialize in helping people realize the value of who they are. Because when you value yourself, you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you can then truly love others. And most people today don't know the value of who they are.
And how do you help people see the value of who they are?
I help them by showing them, first of all, making an assessment, first of all, where they are. Many times I do that with an interactive little game that I got from another health coach friend who created this game. It's called I Am You Are. And this game just has a lot of positive and empowering words that I would speak to them. Just one word at a time. I would say, for instance, I am beautiful. And then I would say, you are beautiful. And then the client would say to me the same thing. Athena, I am beautiful and you are beautiful. Just several, it's like a whole card deck of wonderful words. And doing an assessment like that, you find that when you're looking at them and they're saying those words, a lot of times they can't even speak it because they don't believe that about themselves. And so, when I see words that they struggle with, I write down those words. And that can give you a clue as to what's happening with them or what has happened to them in their lives. And then we begin to work on those aspects that they don't feel or that they don't love about themselves by using affirmations, by helping them to meditate and to release negative emotions and events and trauma that's happened in their life, and, just helping them to see the value in themselves by letting them know that they are perfect just the way they are.
And when you say they, who might they be? Who do you actually serve? Who's your main client?
Well, most of my clients are women, like I would say around 30 to 60. They may be professional, they may be homemakers, they may be just like me and you, or, nurses, or, people who just work every day. But they, need help. They are stuck in a loop, and they don't know how to get out of that cycle of negative thinking, feeling unworthy, and they just need help getting out of it. If they can break that cycle, they can move forward.
And in breaking that cycle, Athena, what is the number one problem that your clients face?
Well, I would say stress, because stress is an indicator that they're out of balance, physically and emotionally, spiritually. Everything is just totally out of balance. Because when you're under stress, you are in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you can't create. It's hard to think. It's hard to be clear. It's hard to make wise choices because you're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you only think about three things. That's yourself, that's your environment, and that's time. Because, when you're stressed out, you don't have time to think about anything else. All you do, your focus is on yourself because, you become very selfish and you become very focused on you because you want to take care of the body. It's almost like when an animal is under stress, like a little gazelle is being chased by a lion. The three things that little gazelle is concerned about is her body. Can she get out of there in time? And where is she going to run? And that's how we as people are. We do that when we're under stress. But the thing about an animal is if it outruns that gazelle, it stops, and it's no longer under stress. We as people, with just our thoughts, can put ourselves back in that stressful mode over and over and over again. And our body doesn't know the difference. As our mind thinks about those stressful things, our body reacts the same way. So just as it was the first time. So we constantly are pouring stress hormones into our body every time we have those negative thoughts. And so the more we keep pouring those hormones into our body, the more we're setting ourselves up for physical degeneration and disease and mental stress and mental distress, rather. So I try to help people, or I show people how they can break that loop through not only positive affirmations, but also meditation and just talking things out to let them get it out of their system so that they can finally find the balance and realize that they are worthy of everything that they want to go for.
It didn't sound like you were too stressed when you had to come up with 2 items that you would take on your vacation with you to Cape Town. So do you have a success story that you helped someone else in the midst of their stress that you can tell us about?
Yes, actually she was a younger woman who was depressed, and I reached out to her because she was a friend of my daughter's, and we had several chats, and we did the I Am You Are interactive game, and I found out what areas that she was really having trouble with, which was around self-love and other areas, as she was kind of abused when she grew up. And as I told her that, how this loop cycle works, if you keep focusing on it, it just keeps your body in that constant mode of survival. And in order to break that, you need to start thinking greater than your environment. and I had her to start thinking about what it is that she wanted to do or be with her life if that wasn't a part of her life, the stressful life. I said, if that was not in your life, what would your life look like? I had her write it down, and then I had her read it to me. And I said, this is what your life can be like if you can drop the other stuff. But then she gave me this one question that just kind of was like, most people think this. She says, well, but if I give up my depression, who would I be? I told her, anyone you want to be. This person you have that you wrote down this paper, this is who you could be if you give up this depression. At first, she didn't want to do it because jumping into this new reality was unfamiliar. And she was so totally familiar with being depressed. And so I just said, it has to be your choice. It's going to be unfamiliar. You're going to walk in unfamiliar territory. But once you get on the other side, you'll be so much happier. And so she had to think about it for a while because she was very comfortable with those emotions. Even though she didn't like them, they were the only thing that she knew. So she called me back a couple of days later and said, okay, I think I'm ready to take that leap. And so once she committed to taking that leap and being uncomfortable in the unknown, then she was able to walk forward into the unknown and be uncomfortable for a while. But the more she did not do what she used to do before and just thought of what she wanted her life to be like and acted on those things, the less she was her old self. And so in the process, she was creating a new personality and a new reality.
Wow, what an amazing story. When you talk about leaping, what leap are you preparing to take? What's next for you, and how can we connect with you?
Well, we've already mentioned that my daughter and I and my son have leapt into Blue Retreats. That's something that we're going to be doing, and the mission of Blue Retreats is to reconnect people with culture, nature, and a deeper sense of self, inspired by, my husband's battle with cancer. So we will be doing those, hopefully, Lord willing, quarterly every year. And the first one will be, as we said before, in Cape Town, South Africa. I will also be doing courses, online courses, which will be on emotional eating. And to get in touch with me, social media platforms, I am Athena Blue at Facebook, Athena Blue 1238 on IG, and Athena Blue on LinkedIn. And I do have a website, athenablue.com.
Athena Blue, it's been amazing journeying with you. We certainly look forward to continuing the journey with you and traveling with you, learning from you, and being graced by your awesomeness even more. Thanks for journeying with us.
Oh, you're welcome. I thank you.
Ladies, I am truly blessed by each of you.
Yes, life is about choices. My 9th grade teacher, Sister Marge, she taught me the importance of making choices. And she once said to me, life is about choices. And if we make good choices, we get good consequences. If we make bad choices, well, of course, we get bad consequences. But she told me to always remember that the choice is mine. And I want to say to you today, there are some tough choices to make. And the choice really is yours. Life is a matter of some really tough choices. And making them can be pretty scary. But what's even scarier is living with regret. You see, those who avoid the tough choices of life, well, they end up living a life they never chose. Perhaps you're saying, oh, it's not that bad. Life is not that tough. Well, keep living. Tough choices are ahead. Most people are not willing to make the tough choices. But true leaders understand that leadership demands that we make tough choices. Yes, there are times we have to make tough choices, but there are resources and people, experts who can walk alongside of you and help you make those choices. Well, what can we say? Another day here at the table on Conversations on Courage, where we absolutely, positively kept our promise to you. Not only did we provide you with inspiration that causes transformation, but we provided you with success strategies for healthy and whole relationships. Hopefully you took some notes, but if not, no worries. Just catch us on the replay. We'll be here just for you. I'm RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver. It's been a pleasure to be your host and introduce you to our featured guest today. In the meantime and in between time, I'm not going to quit my day job. Don't you worry, because my day job is inspiring you to take a risk with confidence so that you, my friend, can live life on the other side of fear. While it is my pleasure to inspire you and encourage your heart here on Conversations on Courage, it is my passion and my purpose to connect with you as an international speaker, to remind you that there's greatness inside of you. If you're looking for an authentic, down-to-earth speaker who speaks not only from the heart, but shares her stories for God's glories and tells about the journey that she's taking, she's on, and that she's preparing for, hey, give me a call. Let's talk. It'd be my pleasure to see how I may serve you. In the meantime, in between time, as I like to say, keep up your courage, take a risk with confidence, and stay blessed indeed. We'll be here again next week, same time, same purpose. And you, my friend, well, you're the reason why. So we hope to see you then. In the meantime, don't forget to follow me online. You can catch me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Anchor, and all social media platforms at The Courage Giver. You can visit my website at thecouragegiver.com. That's thecouragegiver.com. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for Conversations on Courage. Now that you've been inspired, informed, and encouraged, it's time for you to take action. So head on over to thecouragegiver.com. That's thecouragegiver.com and connect with RJ for a personal conversation on courage. She's waiting to help you take the risk you need to succeed.